the students of this group. My today's lecture is about electric flux, which is from second year physics, chapter number 12, electrostatics. Okay, first we should must know about electric flux. What is electric flux? Before going towards electric flux, there is a need to know what is a flux. Flux is basically the word which represents to flow. Anything which is flowing through certain area is represented by flux. So by electric flux, we mean that the number of electric field lines passing through a certain element of area is known as electric flux. Here, number of electric field lines passing through a certain element of area is known as electric flux through that area, and it is denoted by Greek letter which is pronounced as phi. In this diagram, this is the illustration of the passage of electric field lines through a certain element of area. Suppose this one is area A. When it is placed in the path of the electric field lines, you can see that here in this area A, 4 electric field lines are passing through it. So we say that the electric flux through this element of area A is 4 because 4 lines are passing through it. Just lines without considering any area do not define the definition of electric flux. They do not give an idea, just electric field lines do not give an idea about the electric flux. For the complete description of electric flux, the passage of electric field lines through certain area is important. And now look at another area which is B. Through this area, 2 electric field lines are passing. For the representation of flux, only those electric field lines which is passing through certain area will be considered. This is 2, so the electric flux through B is 2, whereas the electric flux through A is 4. So to describe this diagram in terms of electric field intensity. Intensity in this area A, electric field is more intense than the area B because electric field intensity through this area A is 4 Newton per coulomb, whereas electric field intensity through the area B is 2 Newton per coulomb because 2 field lines are passing through it, and through area A 4 field lines are passing through it. The more the number of lines passing through the area, and also note that these areas are held perpendicular to the direction of electric field lines. These are held perpendicular, both areas. So electric field intensity at B is 2 Newton per coulomb, where at A it is 4 Newton per coulomb. So we can say that electric field is more intense at A than at B. Now let us move towards 3 different cases which appear due to the placement of area. Due to the placement of these areas, whether they are placed perpendicular or parallel or at some angle showing some inclination. In first case, this one in figure 12.13b. In this case, you can see that this area is held perpendicular to the electric field lines. This area, green portion, it is perpendicular to the direction of electric field lines. So in this case, area is held perpendicular to the field, then phi will become equal to EA, flux. Flux is the product of electric field and area. It is the dot product of electric field and area. And then E area is held perpendicular, then the lines passing through it, these are electric field lines passing through it. The flux phi E in this case, phi E is equal to EA, phi E electric flux, phi E represents electric flux. Phi E in this first case is maximum. Look at the position of my cursor. The maximum number of electric field lines are passing through this area. Now consider the other case which is given in figure 12.13c. In this case you will see that the area is placed in this direction parallel to the electric field lines. It is placed parallel. Green, look at the green area, green portion area. This area is held parallel to the direction of electric field lines. Area is held parallel to the field lines, as is obvious. No lines cross this area, so that the flux phi in this case phi is equal to EA parallel. see in second case that this area is held perpendicular to the direction is held parallel to the direction of the field line. This one is parallel to the direction of field line. So electric flux through this area when it is placed parallel to the direction of electric field lines, then flux through this area is zero. Where A parallel indicates that A is held parallel to the field in this figure 12.13. This one 12.13c. So that flux in this case is zero, where A parallel indicates area is parallel to the field. Okay, now consider the third case, figure 12.13d. This shows the case when A is neither perpendicular nor parallel to the electric field lines. In this case, it is at some angles to the direction of the electric field lines, green patch. It is inclined. It is making some angle with the direction of electric field lines. Here it is written, the butt is inclined at an angle theta with the lines. In this case, we have to find the projection of the vector which is perpendicular to the electric field lines. We must find, look at the position of my cursor, we must find the projection of the area which is perpendicular to the field lines. Projection of the area such should be such that we must locate the area which is perpendicular to the field lines. The area of the projection is A cos theta. Suppose this one is the vector area. This is the vector area. We resolve it into its components, x components and y component. This is theta making an angle, so this is considered base and this one is perpendicular. So theta, A cos theta will be present here, where A sin theta will be present here in this downward direction. Only through A cos theta components maximum number of electric field lines are passing through it, whereas through A sin theta component no electric field line is passing through it. So it is represented, the flux in this case is represented as phi E is equal to EA cos theta. Usually the element of area is represented by the vector area whose magnitude is equal to the surface of the area. Element of area, vector area, whose represented by the vector whose magnitude is equal to the surface area of the element. Magnitude, by magnitude we mean that how much something is. So in this case, the larger the magnitude means the greater the surface area, or the greater the surface area, the larger will be the magnitude. And further, whose direction is in direction of normal to the area, and the direction of this vector area is equal to this. Look at the black line or black arrowhead here. Area is located. This area is drawn perpendicular to this green surface area. You can see here that the electric flux phi E through a patch of the flat surface in terms of E and A. Both electric field intensity and area, in this case both are vector quantities. In terms of their magnitude, phi E is equal to EA cos theta, where this is equal to cos theta. You will recall the chapter number 2nd from first year physics about vectors. When cos theta between the two vector quantities, between the magnitude of the two vector quantities, it will give rise to the dot product between two vectors. Phi is equal to EA cos theta, this is equal to E dot A, where theta is the angle between the field lines and normal to the area. Electric flux being a scalar product, because it is a dot product between the two vector quantities, so it will be a scalar quantity. So its unit is nm square per coulomb, and meter square for area, Newton per coulomb. This is for electric field intensity. Now moving towards another topic, which is about electric flux through a surface enclosing a charge. This one is a closed surface which is enclosing a charge plus q. Charge q will be in that surface, will be in that closed surface, and we have to find the electric flux through that closed charge to that closed surface. So let us calculate the electric flux through a closed surface in the shape of a sphere of radius r. This is in the shape of a sphere and its radius is r. Electric flux will be through it, it will be due to this point charge q which is inside that, this point charge q. From this point charge q, closed surface which is enclosing a positive charge q. Positive charge from the positive charge q, electric field lines will come outward. They will emerge out of it. They will be in outward direction. This is given by the direction of E. Okay, R due to, let us calculate the electric flux through a closed surface in the shape of sphere of radius r due to a point charge. And this point charge, this, look at the in the diagram, just concentrate on the position of my cursor. This point charge is placed at the center of the sphere. This one is the point charge which is placed in the center of the sphere, figure 12.14. To apply the formula, phi is equal to E dot A. For the computation of electric flux, computation means for the calculation of electric flux, the surface area should be flat. In previous topic, which is just discussed here, we have considered, like in this case, flat surfaces. You can see that these are flat surfaces, whereas this one is not a flat surface. This one is a closed surface. This one is in the form of a sphere. So for this region, the total surface area of the sphere is divided into n small patches. The total surface area, this is divided into n small patches. So with the areas of magnitude, this one is n small patches, infinitesimal patches that cannot be further divided, as these are not total area and these are just a part of the total area. So these are represented by delta A. Delta A represents that its differential area, not the total area, just a part of the total area. So it's represented by delta A. So for this region, the surface area of the sphere is divided into n small patches with areas of magnitude delta A1, delta A2, delta A3 up to so on delta AN. If n is very large, if the number of the patches is very large, then each patch would be a flat element of the area. Then each small patch will appear as a flat surface. The corresponding vector areas are, so according to this, the corresponding vector areas delta A1, delta A2, delta A3, when the vector is when the area is represented in its vector term. Vector means, look at this black arrowhead. This one is vector area. The direction of each vector area is along perpendicular drawn outward of the corresponding patch. You can see that the direction of this vector area is outward. This is normal to the patch and is radiating outward. The electric intensities at the centers of the vector areas. The electric field intensity which is at the center of this vector area. This E is located at the center of this vector area. These are, suppose delta A1 electric field intensity due to A1 is E1, due to A2 delta A2 is E2, and due to delta AN is EN respectively. According to this equation 12.12, which is just discussed previously, the total flux through the closed surface phi E, the total flux through it. This is equal to E1 dot delta A1 plus E2 dot delta A2 plus E3 dot delta A3 up to so on En dot delta An. So the direction of the electric field intensity and vector area is the same. In this case, you see that both E and delta A are radiating outward. These are in the same direction. So we can say that they are parallel to each other. Moreover, because of spherical symmetry at the surface of the sphere, this one is of spherical shape. It is having a spherical symmetry. E1, magnitude of E1 is equal to magnitude of E2 is equal to magnitude of E3. This term is also represented by modulus. Here 12.14, equation 12.14, this is also represented as modulus, or it is also representing magnitude. Magnitude E1 is equal to magnitude E3 is equal to magnitude E2 is equal to magnitude E3 up to so on. This is equal to magnitude En. So magnitude E is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over R square. In terms of magnitude, we are representing it here. Phi E is equal to E delta A1 plus E delta A2 plus E delta A3 to calculate the total flux through it, as the electric field intensity through each patch are same. So all of these quantities are equal. at all of these patches, when we construct all of these patches, electric field intensity will be same. So E1 is equal to E2 is equal to E3 is represented here, and it is just replaced by simple E. So simple E values are written here. So uh, E is common in all of these vectors, so it is taken out. This is equal to E into under bracket within brackets delta A1 plus delta A2 plus delta A3 up to so on delta AN. When we add all of these areas, these all areas will take up the form of a spherical surface area. E into total spherical surface area, this is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q over r square into 4 pi r square. Surface area of the spherical shape, this is equal to 4 pi r square. So this whole term will become equal to r square will be cancelled by r square 4 pi by 4 pi. So the only term which is left phi is equal to q over epsilon naught. Now imagine that a closed surface S is enclosing this sphere. So it can be seen in figure 12.15 in this case. A spherical sphere shape in a spherical shape, this body green one which is in a spherical shape, this is placed closed surface like as this one, which is drawn in a purple color of irregular shape. The purple color, this one is a closed body and this is enclosing a sphere. It can be seen in figure 12.15 that the flux through the closed surface is the same as that through the sphere. The the flux which is passing through this sphere. Sphere means green one, the green which is in the form of a sphere. The flux passing through this is also equal to the flux which is passing through this irregular shaped body which is containing that sphere. So we can conclude that the total flux through a closed surface does not depend upon the shape or the geometry of the closed surface. So it represents that the in the closed regular shaped body which is in the form of a sphere, the number of the flux is equal to that which is passing through an irregular shaped body. Whether the flux is passing through a regular shaped body or through an irregular shaped closed body, the its value will be same. So it is written over here, it depends, it does not depend upon the shape or the geometry of the closed surface. So the flux passing through any irregular shaped body, it does not depend upon the shape or geometry of the closed surface. It can be any, it can be in the form of a sphere, it can be in the form of any irregular shaped body. So it depends upon the medium and the charge enclosed. It only depends upon the medium, means whether there is air, whether there is vacuum or some dielectric, and the charge enclosed, whether there is positive charge, negative charge, and charge of how much magnitude. The larger the magnitude, the larger the electric intensity, and larger the number of the electric field lines passing through that area. This is all about today's topic.